everybody, it's Aquila, and this is a Lefty Knitter podcast, episode 162. This is a podcast about my knitting adventures, also other crafty adventures that include yarn, crocheting, tufting, weaving, spinning, all the things, and I record through the week and I squish it all together and I post on Saturdays. I don't have particularly a lot to show right now, but I am very excited about some of the things I do have to show. Today is already Wednesday, May the 4th, be with you, and yeah. I have a clip that I'm going to put in, it may have already been there. I did that the last time, so you probably already saw it. I was shaving my tufted pieces. I glued them. I used Elmer's glue. I put a bunch of glue all on the back. And then I cut them off of my tufting board. Things I've learned. Ready? Number one. I'll go through them actually as I show you the product because I feel like it will mean more when I show you. I should have trimmed all the edges, I feel like, around the outside parts of the pieces while it was still on the board and the screen was all stretched out. But that might not make a difference because the second lesson I learned is I definitely tufted my objects way too dense. That's what I learned. So let me show you how it's curling. See how it's curling up? It's doing that. I tufted way too much. So you can see all my lines. I definitely didn't have to do it as dense as I did. I did it very, very dense. This is the back. And this is the front. I could not get this to look like a circle. I just couldn't because the original part didn't look like a circle very well. But I did shave it. I tried to do some contouring on the line here. It's probably very hard to tell. But I did shave all the pieces. This was just a practice piece, but I thought it was really pretty. So I did end up shaving it and cutting it and keeping it. I might just hang this on my wall too. It's pretty interesting looking. So I love using the two strands, but again, see how it's curling? See what it's doing? It's too dense, way too dense. So that is the second thing I learned. I'm not sure if I have a third thing that I've learned about this yet. You have to be patient with yourself, obviously, because it's a new craft. That's definitely something. So I did shave down also. The one you saw me shaving was the hat, but I shaved all of them down. My little UFO. He's pretty interesting. Can you tell I did contouring there? I think you can kind of tell there. I did a little contouring here, and there's contouring here. And I tried doing contouring around this. That wasn't quite round either. Again, too dense. It's all curling up. I did find, though, when I show you the last piece I have to show, I think that was a cat sneezing. I'm not quite sure what that was. The lighting is very strange in here right now. My hat is curling big time. Look at this thing. It's really bad. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fix that. But you can definitely tell with it shaved down, more of the detail with the black lines that I have going in there. And it's got pieces of stuff all over it because like this muslin stuff makes a hot mess. It's all over the rug right now and I just cleaned. So the only piece that I fully finished, and I'll be able to give it to the person. And you guys might know my guest that's coming to stay with us. Her name is Chevas. She has a podcast called the Chevyrells podcast or Chevyrells Stuff podcast. That's terrible. I'm not the proper name of her podcast. I'm not sure. You know her, you love her, I love her, and the only piece that I finished is because I want to give it to her. So you got to cut your muslin and you cut it in like sections, so then you can hot glue it down onto the back side, and then you back it with something. Since this was a tiny piece, I wasn't doing like the full-on rug backing type material. I had felt in my stash and I used that. So if you all know, grab your drink, and she loves olives in her martinis. Now, she usually does like stuffed olives with like blue cheese or whatever, but I wanted to look like an olive, so I did the pimento. And this is fully shaved. I trimmed up all the edges. I glued down the muslin on the back and felted it, or put the felt on it. And I just, John ended up purchasing me a Gorilla Glue hot glue gun, which I had a mini hot glue gun, but I was like, oh, I really want to get that Gorilla Glue one because I think it will really help, you know. And I put the back, like this was curling also, and it's still curling, but it's much better than it was after I've put the back onto it. So I'm going to wait to give this to Chevas when she's here, and then if she wants like a piece on the back to hang it, I can work with her to do that, or she can do that, whatever. I don't know how she's going to want to, you know, what she's going to want to do with this. If she wants to put something, a bowl on it, or a mug rug, or she wants to hang it, totally going to be up to her. And I'm very, very excited to give this to her. Olives. Yeah. The only other thing I have to show is I have made significant progress, obviously, on my Friday tee, because that's the only thing I've been working on that's actually knitting. And I, ladies and gentlemen, have a 1 sleeve done out of 2. I have 1 out of 2 done. So I am now attached on the other sleeve to 2 balls of yarn. So excuse me while I try to show you this. But I was here last time on the sleeve when I showed you guys. I got all this done, then the ribbing, because the ribbing started right after this marker here, and it's definitely pulling. I don't care though. I like it. And I am currently halfway through this sleeve. So I'm gonna attempt to have the knitting on this done tonight, possibly even have it soaked and blocked so it can start drying tonight too. What? Maryland sheep, whoa, here we come. I don't know what I'm wearing with this, but I have it. So I'm excited. Okay, that's all I have to show, because I'm assuming, I don't know what I'm going to do with this episode. If I'm going to attach on Maryland Sheep and Wool to the end of this, have its own episode, have Chevas on this I don't know. This might be all of it. This might be the whole episode. The shaving and this. Don't know. All right, until the next time, y'all. Yeah, I'll talk to you then. Okay, everyone. I know you might be disappointed. I didn't bring my guest on to video. We had way too much fun and just relaxing time, and if you don't know who my guest was, it was Chevas from the Chevyrells Stuff podcast. And so sorry. I wanted to do like if we had the time, but we were enjoying just being in company with all the people. So I was gonna ask her, we were gonna do like, what did you expect from Maryland? But you know what? She will do that all on her podcast. So you should definitely check that out, because I'm sure she will have an amazing episode on all the things that were Maryland Sheep and Wool. So Maryland Sheep and Wool was yesterday and today. Today is Saturday. Sorry. My kid has a cough. Today is now Sunday, the 8th. So I'm behind at posting. But I'm going to get this up, and I have a decent amount to show you guys. So let's get started. First off, what am I wearing? I am wearing... Do you have to make all the noise? Pause. And we're back. Okay. This is the Friday Tee by PetiteKnit. She's got a terrible cough. It's probably allergies with postnasal drip crap. Okay, Friday Tee, PetiteKnit. I either A, blocked it way too much, or B, I made the size that was the neck size that I shouldn't have made. Like, I always overestimate thinking I'm bigger than I am, and I don't know what it was. So when I reblock this, I'm gonna try not to, and I didn't really stretch it out. I really just laid it out, and that was it. But with this type of, like, the way you knit it, I feel like it can give a lot of stretch if you don't, because this is supposed to be like more close up around my neck like this, and I got a lot of extra. So it's a superwash yarn, and I might wet it again and actually throw it in the dryer just for a little bit, like spray wet it, not soak it, and then throw it in the dryer just for a couple minutes. But let's see if I can stand up and kind of show you guys. There it is. It's done. I finished knitting it on Thursday, blocked it on Thursday. It was still drying on Friday, and I wove the ends in yesterday morning, sitting and drinking coffee. It was fine. All right, so the only other thing I've worked on, let's do that first, is the socks for John, because I had a lot of time to knit just in the round, sitting with friends. We went and had dinner and beers, and I'm stuck in my thing, and so we had time, and I've got a lot of work. I don't remember where I was, and I don't have a marker. I'm gonna put one in though right after I finish showing this to you guys. This is the fruit stripe gum socks, and I have done a decent amount, and I weighed how much I had left of the ball, and I used 20%. Is that right? Yes. I used 20%. I was a little worried. I didn't want to go too much further. I wanted to make sure I was almost using 50-50 on each sock. Obviously, if I have to, I'll cut the heels in with another color, but John likes taller socks. So I am just now doing, I'm gonna cut the heel in somewhere, depending on how far I get. I'm sorry if you guys hear her coughing. There's nothing I can do about that. She's just gotta get it out and break it up. So this is the yarn from Pretty Twisted Yarn. This is Johnny Bow Dyes, and the colorway Johnny Bow Dyes. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun just sitting and knitting this. It's very easy. It does have sparkle. I don't know if you can see it. So, and then, so my special guest gets here, Chevas gets here. We just had such a good time. I'm sure she will tell you all about all her woes with travel. Oh my God. This weather here. Today we could have went back today, but we didn't. We did some other stuff, and that was fine. But we went the one day, we did the podcaster meetup, but Chevas brought me my birthday present. She didn't have to do that. She got me some plugs. I was wondering why John was asking what size I wear, because I don't know, I just didn't expect him to. But these are glass, and they're like iridescent. Can you even see that? I'm like so nervous I'm just gonna break them, like shatter them. But I was right about my size. I haven't bought plugs in like years, so I wasn't even sure. But I was right. Okay, and then I also got some Mood stitch markers. I've never even heard of Mood stitch markers, and she's probably showed them before, and I'm clueless. I'm clueless, y'all. But let me see. What? That's so cool. I haven't like messed with them yet. And she bought books for Hayes and Cat's Cradle. Now I can do Jacob's Ladder. I've done that. I was playing with that so much. It's terrible. The other thing she got was this book. It's really hard to see. I'll take it out of the plastic, but it is kind of falling apart. It has some labyrinth washi tape on it, and how cute is that? So it's like from the 20s, and this is going to be really cool to look through and read. It is called Homecraft, the American Woman's Handybook. Published by the magazine, I can't even read that. Publishing of Women's Weekly. But it has tatting in it, it has crochet in it, it has sewing in it, coats and jackets. It's just really interesting, and I love this kind of like the history, it's interesting that how some of the stuff comes back. Oh my god, I didn't see this first page. This is beautiful. Look at this. Okay, so I'm gonna get this back in its sleeve and then I'll come back. Okay, Clay Monster was there. If you guys have never bought anything from Clay Monster, John got me Clay Monster pottery. He got me a soap dish. I might have to take a picture and insert it because it's not here and I'm not getting up right now. But when he did make that purchase, Hazel got to choose, I forget what she called them, but this is what her, why can't I think of words? Apprentices, this is how they learn how to do eyes for all the Clay Monster stuff. That's cool. That's so crazy cool. We also went to Jenny the Potter and Hazel picked out stitch markers. I didn't know this was happening, and I got some really cute stitch markers in this jar from Jenny the Potter. Peace sign. 2 peace signs actually. One with the hand and then one with the symbol. A yarn ball. I'm going fast. I'm sorry. Needles and like knit stitches. Okay, sorry, that was probably fast. And I might go fast and I apologize. I met so many people that I hadn't met before. I had met them through Zoom calls or just talked to them through Instagram or social media. And it was just amazing, like amazing. But first, let me show you. So I've talked about Liz, the black knitter, and if you're not following her, you should. She brought me a present. She got me Chickenwood Coop Dye Works, Lady Dyes Yarns, and this really super bright one, which is, Passion Knits yarn. I've never knit with any of them. I'm not going to take everything out. I'm sorry. These are my preciouses anyway. So, sorry. That was weird. Okay. And then another thoughtful person brought these that I can either keep or use for giveaways. And that's Val. Val got me these. They're like the opposites. They're so cool. They're so neat. This is Brazen Stitchery Self-Striping. Be Brazen. One is Carabella and one is Mr. Blue Sky. What? So nice. And then, of course, she said this is for me and I'm not allowed to give it away. Look at those. I think she told me who this was. I can't remember. And this is... Did she say these were both from Norway? I can't remember. I cannot read that. Oh gosh, she says, Blame It on the Boogie is the name of this one. People are, I can't even. And then Elisa made me stitch markers. She said she knew that I liked Halloween. And these are so cool. And they're skulls and little tassels. Sorry, that is not, I'm terrible with getting this to focus. And if I keep trying to just push it to focus. And then she saw that we had went to the fairy festival and had to make me a whole new set. Look at those. There's little poofy balls. There's little lotus flowers. There's wings. Oh my god. They're so pretty. They're so cool. Oh my gosh. Like seriously. I'm not sure what that one is. It looks like it opens though. I feel like this opens. I want to take it. It's a unicorn. I think you can put essential oils on it. What? That's good. I've never seen a stitch marker where you could put essential oils. I thought that was really cool. Okay. See how like big it is? It's not supposed to be that big. I gotta try to reblock this. Okay. The only 3 purchases I made, I did not spend a lot of money. We were having fun. It was very wet. It was very rainy, and the wind blew. It was misty rain and gross rain. Like, everybody just felt like, I think, soggy dogs. This was my first purchase, and I was like, I didn't know what I really wanted to buy while I was there. So I went in and I was like, this is actually really cool. It's a craft I've never really tried. So I bought it. And this was from Patty Vader, the owner, and it's Patty at Epicurean Boutique. Epicurean Boutique. It was all felt embroidery stuff. She was selling patterns and she was selling kits. So you could buy the kit. She had these, there were these like little zipper locket things. Oh my God, they were so cool. I am going to pull this out. I bought the kit. It's called Spooky Halloween. This pair of little mischief makers are just waiting to sweeten up your Halloween table. Create a fun 12-inch table mat using wool or wool felt. And it doesn't come with the floss. So the kit doesn't come with the floss, but I have tons of floss. Look at this. I love cats and I love Halloween and the pumpkins. Oh my gosh. So I have a bunch of felt. Now I knew I could have bought felt, but I was like, you know what? This is perfect. It's just what I need. This is easier. It's easier. Other than the floss, which again, I have floss. And if it doesn't match exactly for the DMC colors, that's not gonna matter, right? Because it's my own creation. So I'm excited to try this. It's not a whole lot of like, I guess you're stitching together a lot of parts, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. All right. And then I bought 2 skeins of yarn. Now, I've bought from both of these dyers before. I know I try to say I want to buy from other dyers. I don't know. I just get in, we're browsing, we're doing whatever, like, yeah. So Terry and Brian, they had set up on Friday. They are at Haynes House. They had some yarn that had fallen and it was very muddy. And they had decided to have a discount table. So I went and they sold so much of their discounted yarn. I am so happy for them that it was not like a total loss. They didn't want to take it home and wash it, and I totally get that. So they discounted it. And so I ended up buying, I know this is not the greatest for socks, but I'm going to make a pair of nice squishy socks for myself. It's a DK weight, and this is at Haynes House. And this is DK, and it's the Unicorn of Truth. And she always tells you a story, so let me read her story. Terry once read that unicorns could tell if someone was lying. Because Emmanuel had a great sense of wisdom, she started calling him the Unicorn of Truth, and that's the name of the color. So all of her colors are based on family stories. The names are based on like family stories. And I don't honestly see anything, like I don't see mud on this yarn. It may have gotten wet. It's not wet now. I am going to make some squishy socks. This is her community DK base, which is 100% superwash merino. It looks like the tag was a little worse for wear, but what? Like, that's 231 yards, and it's a DK 100% superwash merino. I know not great for socks, but I don't wear my socks really, like DK weight socks, I'm not going to be probably wearing out in shoes. These are going to be strictly for the house and strictly in slippers. So I bought that. Then I went to Yarn Hero, and Yarn Hero is one of the dyers that dyes in the wool and then has it spun at the mill. So it's similar to how Spin Cycle does theirs. Not all of her stuff is done that way. I'm not quite sure. She has quite a few different lines now. I fell in love with her Stipple DK, and I knew I had to buy one when I was there. So I bought this in mind of making a photographer hat for John because he loves those hats, and it's like a DK worsted weight. And so I bought the Stipple DK, and it's a 75% merino wool, South American wool, light worsted. So it's no nylon in it. And this is called Starry Night. It's 215 yards. It says the Yarn Hero Stipple collection uses a unique hand-dyed marl technique that works up as a solid color yarn with kicks of random gradient colors. So it's probably hard to see, but it is going to change. There's blues, purples, darker blues, like all different shades of blue is that stipple. And I think John loves the idea of a black hat, and I love the idea of a black hat with this gradient stipple in it. So that's what's happening. That's what that's going to be. Those were my only purchases, yarn and crafting wise, I think. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think that's it. John got a shirt. John may have gotten some other stuff, and I can't remember. So I apologize for that. But my monthly subscription came from Maryland Lamb Company. I told you guys I'm doing that. It's all the lady farm owners, the women-owned farms, and they collaborate. And this is a border Cheviot spun yarn. It's 260 yards, 4 ounces, 2-ply worsted weight, and it just says 100% farm wool. So it's a mix of border and Cheviot. And you get 2 skeins, and this is completely undyed. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It was so much rain. I felt so bad. My package was a little wet. But it's fine now. It's dry. But yeah, Maryland Lamb Company. I don't know if I want to make something with this and then dye it, or leave it, or dye it and then knit with it. I'm not sure. So I have 520 yards of a worsted weight. I feel like that's a lot of yardage to make something really cool. And I have some other worsted weights, so technically I could do maybe color work if I really wanted to with this. So I don't have a lot of footage from the weekend. I didn't take a lot of pictures. I know I've said this in the past on the podcast, so if you're new, you might not have heard this. I am try to be in the moment. Now that is hard when you have a 6-year-old running around and you're trying to keep tabs, and I can't put a tracker on her. So it's a little hard because I'm always like eagle-eyeing her and then also trying to enjoy everything. So on top of that, pulling out my phone to video things, take pictures, it doesn't happen. So I thank all the people that came, said hi, took pictures with me, posted the pictures. I really appreciate that because I didn't really get any. So I have a little bit of footage that I took when we were in the barns with the animals, and that's pretty much all the footage I took for the podcast. So I will put that at the end, and I hope, I hope I didn't disappoint anyone, that I didn't document more about Maryland. But if you ever have any, if you ever have questions, obviously, about a festival or something like that, please ask. Now, Saturday when we got there, we did not force ourselves to wake up and get there like at the butt crack of dawn to make sure, Chevas and I didn't have any set plan. Like, there was nothing that we were like, I'm dead set, have to get this, it might sell out type. Like, I'm not that kind of shopper anyway. I'm just not. So she didn't have anything. So collectively we were like, when we get there, we'll have our coffee. We'll get there when we get there. And that's what happened. And so we got there around 12. We were able to park in the big parking lot. We probably could have got even closer. People had already left by then. There were spots available. Yes, the parking area was muddy. Yes, it was wet and cold and rainy and all the things. But I still think they had a really great turnout. It's not a turnout they would have had if it wasn't raining. There was lots of people wearing masks still and doing their thing. And it was awesome. It was awesome to see people be able to get out. I did feel bad for the vendors because I know you're setting up a product that you want to sell and you don't want it wet. You don't want it ruined. The tents are flapping, the wind is going. It was a lot. It was a lot. We didn't go back today. I think I already mentioned that. We ended up giving Chevas a driving tour kind of Baltimore. So we did that. And then we had food, and John's now they're at the airport probably now. He probably just dropped her off. It's about that time. So now I'm gonna relax and rest the rest of today, do a little bit of stuff around the house that needs to be done, and yeah. So I hope everybody's well. I hope that if you went to Maryland, you were able to get everything that your heart's desire wanted, you know, there. I know I've seen tons of people post, like I follow the hashtags for Maryland Sheep and Wool, so it's nice seeing all the things people bought from all the vendors. There was only one vendor that I actually wanted to really stop and get something, and I didn't see them there. They were the people that make the brooms. If you've been in prior years, we have 2 brooms made by the people, the broom people. I don't know their name. It's on the sticker on my broom in my kitchen, but I don't know what it is. But I was hoping to get another broom or 2 for gifts this year, but that didn't happen because it's cool watching them make the brooms. Yeah. So, and it was, I don't think they did sheep shearing demos because the sheep shearing stage was completely empty, and that's where we ended up having the podcaster meetup instead of out in that little slopey grassy area. And people kept coming up saying, "Isn't the sheep demo here?" And we're like, "Not here," because that is the stage, but they were not having it. So I don't know what happened with that. I really would have liked to have seen Emily if she was the one doing the sheep shearing, because I don't know if she's always the one, but that's who we've always seen in years past. Yeah, that's it. That's really all I have to say. So I'm gonna stop. Hazel's making noise. I'm gonna stop, get this all put together and post it. Make sure you watch all your fellow podcasters and see what they purchased, and maybe you can get some ideas of people you would want to purchase from. I know both at Haynes House and Yarn Hero sell online, so I'm not sure about Clay Monster, although they're having, oh, we got this little thing. Hazel, seriously? Sorry, not sorry. They are having here, so if you're in Baltimore, Clay Monster is from Baltimore. I think she makes all of her pottery out of her house, or maybe she has a studio house. I don't know. It's a monster party. It's a monster show. And it's all the vendors, all their stuff has to be monster themed. And there's a bunch of makers on the back of this card. You can check it out at monsterofashow.com. So if you are in the Baltimore area and this is something you're interested in, this is November 6th. So it's further, wait, this is from last year. Okay, even though this is from last year, I'm thinking if you look up the website. So if they had it November last year, I'm assuming it might be November again. But if you're interested in the area, just look up the website. I'll try to put the website in the notes down below. But I thought that was cool. Like, some of that stuff's really super cute. Okay. That's all I got. That's it. That's it. I gotta stop. All right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others when you can. Check in on your people. And I'll talk to you later. Get happy. Bye.